Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for January the 22nd through the 28th, 2018. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath and to connect in with the inner alignment of our souls, allowing your consciousness to just rest within your heart chakra, clearing everything from your mind, letting all of your concerns just fade away, and placing your attention into being in this sacred moment together. And so there's a sense of that the word that's coming across to me right now is a sense of responsibility. They're giving me a sense that there are a lot of things that you're concerned about have to do with responsibilities or obligations, but more this word responsibilities of that you have involving others around you. This could be family, it could be responsibilities in your professional career. There's something that's sort of weighing heavily on you about about responsibilities, and at the same time that you have obligations that you already have, and at the same time that possibly maybe is causing you some stress in terms of changes that that are coming up for you on a personal level. You're experiencing some huge, maybe spiritual shifts, and I get a sense that some of these shifts are causing you to sort of see things a little differently. So of course the inner shifts are going to create outer shifts, and where you're going to feel like making changes in your life purpose. This may relate to changes in your career, and so this is, or this may just be general life changes that you're working on, and so you're just being sort of weighed down by these other obligations, and it seems like it's about, you know, doing, wanting to do the things that really would fulfill you and make you happy, and maybe you're feeling like this is your one opportunity, okay, which is sort of an error to ever put that kind of weight, because the universe is always offering you opportunities. When we are focused upon our fears and our concerns, the law of attraction basically increases what you're focused upon. And at the same time, when you're resisting, then that resistance then persists. So that's what kind of creates this sort of situation where you feel sort of stuck in between jobs or life experiences, a career, because the only thing that ever you should be focused upon is what the desire that's growing within you, and that's calling you and summoning you. And you have to understand that the desires and that you're given, that the universe understands all of these things that you're involved in, and it is always creating a path of relief, or the path of least resistance. But I like that way of looking at it as the path of relief. And so if you follow your desires in this moment, and I don't know why they're writing out the word today as I just said that, but if you follow your desires today, in this moment, always in the moment, maybe that's a reference for being present, right? Just staying right here in the present, being guided in the moment based on the choices and decisions and the everything that's available to you. And there's a lot that's available to you in every given moment. It's about how much of it are you recognizing, and how much and how much you are able to recognize depends on how much you're able to let go of your concerns or your fears that you are fixating upon. Because remember, what you focus on increases. And so, what you really have to do is focus on something that gives you a sense of relief. And so that as you sometimes it may not seem like your immediate concerns are being addressed when that sort of path of relief that opens up for you, that you're able to recognize what its purpose is in that moment, is serving to help to get you off of that concern, get you to stop sort of fixating on and obsessing on it, so that you can be open to the clarity of all the events. And I mean by events, I mean that the information, the affluence of opportunities, the many opportunities and avenues that the universe that is always creating for you, because your soul is summoning all of these advantages for you. Your soul is always giving birth to it. They're writing out the word fetus here, and this could be literal for someone who maybe is trying to have a child, but it's in the same sense that that your soul is always giving birth, okay, to so many things out of what you are living. Every moment that you live causes you to summon and launch more of these desires. And so there is never a void of information or avenues or opportunities. And when you feel like that this isn't so, when you feel like nothing is happening, it's because you're looking outside of that desire. You're stepping outside and you're asking yourself, how am I doing? And once you ask how are you doing, this came up with a client yesterday. Think of it like your desire is like a comet, just sort of soaring in the vast universe, that space, and all there is this darkness there. And so you're on the leading edge. You're bringing something into reality. It's materializing through you as you are being you, not as you are questioning who you are and how you're doing. Once you step outside, you're not going to see anything but this void of space. And the only way to remain, so that void, it'll disappoint you, because because you're right there on the leading edge. Um, you're all you're gonna see is all that vast space, because all of that is possible for you to create and experience. And so the only place for you to be is in the present, right where you are, doing and knowing and doing what you love, being aware of what it is, and taking and using what you have. And even though you may feel like you're lacking things, but the experience of what you're doing will lead you to new knowledge, just like the experience, the desire, the genius of your desire is leading you to new manifestations, that some you're completely aware of and some you have no idea that you had launched them, and that you were actually on that path. So it's really important for you to be present with what you are doing, what is sincerely placed within your heart to do, and to trust that and to continue to do that. And you'll discover through what you're doing what it is that you've been all about all along, and what is that you've been creating all along for yourself. But you can't do that if you are afraid of the leaving someone or something behind, or not taking care of someone else. We can't take care of anyone else's vibration in truth. All right, every one of us is responsible, not only just responsible, but we're the only ones that can create for ourselves. And by being true to yourself, the greatest thing that you can give to everyone around you is this gift of truth. And because what will happen is that it's like you become a model, and eventually others may not understand, but they will see through your example and be able to um, you activate their own spiritual clarity and awareness. So the so this is really important right now, as you're going through sort of this spiritual shift, and it's causing you to recognize the other possibilities that your soul is working on already, and that you are already a part of that process. You just sometimes we don't realize that we're already been drawn into something, because we're spending so much time resisting it, right? But it's interesting because they keep just showing me almost sort of like one of these caravans, where you just have there's a lot of people, and that can fit in, and you're sort of like moving and traveling in this caravan, and there's just this concern, as they keep bringing up the angel number 6, of worries, which is where I'm getting this message from, about this experience that you may be having. Okay, so they want you to know that regardless of how you feel about what you're struggling with, that you're on the right path. And you say, wow, I don't feel like I'm on the right path. I feel a little bit confused. I feel like I feel a little bit torn. Um, some of you um, may feel like you just need a break. Like I see like if like people just all around. You're trying to do things. You're trying to make changes, and people are just standing around you. And maybe what they do is they kind of hold up that mirror of who you were, and it makes you feel like you're not ever moving ahead, because you may feel like that literally that there's certain people kind of hold you in that old position of who you were. That you're not able to move ahead and live your own life, because there's like they're calling you back for some reason, or they're pointing out who you were for some reason, and they want you to know that you're safe. And one of the things in that moment, that what you're recognizing when you feel like people are trying to hold you to who you were, or trying to hold you back, is that that you have no fear, no need to fear that you are not moving in the right direction, or that you won't move forward as you wish, because the recognition of what the role that they're playing, that you think they're playing, and their role is really to actually motivate you, although it seems like they're being in opposition. But once you see what you don't want, you know more clearly what you do want. What's happening in this sort of this scenario is that you're becoming more and more clear about moving forward, about embracing these changes. So don't give in to the blame and judgment of, well, they're holding me back, blah, 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 blah. Bless the situation, the circumstances of the situation, because it's revealing to you how much you want to keep moving in this direction. And that's what you need to focus on. Every time something pops up where people seem to be trying to, it feels like they're dragging you backwards, then just know that this is affirming that you're going in the right direction, that they're helping you to make up your mind. See, because nobody can drag you anywhere, but you can give your attention to what is not desired, which would actually focus you back there and start allowing you to increase what is going on there. So don't give attention to your suffering. And I know this is hard, you know, because we really love to beat ourselves up. Um, they're showing me a cross, and it's something we love our crosses, um, and it's really the thing that's keeping us sort of feeling like we're going backwards or seeming like we can't get out of a situation. It's because we love our crosses. We love our guilt, you know. Um, we burden ourselves with guilt and other things, and we can't give ourselves a break. I mean, we won't let ourselves off the hook, and so nobody else can let you off the hook but you. There's nobody that has put you on that hook. You put yourself there out of fear, and it's sort of like an image that came up with a client this week was this flowing stream of your energy, your vibration. It's like a white rapids, right? Moving very quickly. And what we kind of do is, when we're afraid of all of that change and all that information unfolding, we reach for a branch above us and we hook ourselves there. And then we say, nothing's happening. I'm blocked. I was having all this creativity. It was a little overwhelming. And you don't realize that you decided to escape it because it was just too much. You didn't know how to handle all of that information. And so, and then this is what means let go. Let God. Let go. Let God. Like, don't be afraid of that stream of because that is the universal source of God flowing with you, helping you to reach all of your dreams and all your goals. And you, at times, you just want to grab for one of those branches because you're too afraid of all the change that's going on. So in order to get back into that flow of that stream, you have to let go. Let go. Stop trying to anticipate and control how things flow. You see that your only option, you can never stop the river, but you can kind of hook yourself up so that you don't have to continue. And so what you need to do is just let go and let God. Just trust that where you're headed. They're reminding me now of the angel number 80, was it 820, that I saw when I began meditating for this reading. And the message says, let me just see if I can show it to you. It says, trust that God is watching over you and your family, ensuring that your needs are provided for. So this has to do, and I had seen that word family. This has to do with you really being worried about your loved ones, your family, or whomever it is you call your family. And, we have close relationships in our jobs sometimes, and these people become our family because they become your team of support throughout your day at your job. And so you may just be worried about how, if you make this transition, maybe you're thinking about moving on to a new job or changing your career or changing the direction of something that you're doing and you're worried about how to affect your team, your family. And so you just really weighed down by this right now, and you're trying to figure out what to do before it happens. And you don't have the answers, and so you've decided to grab for one of those branches that's floating, that's sort of hanging there above the rivers until you can figure it all out. And now you feel really stuck because you're not in that creative flow. You feel alone because that stream represents guidance as well. It's the consciousness of God and all of your guides and angels and every desire and all the answers and the solutions for those desires. It's the prayers that have been heard and are in motion, and so now you feel naked. You feel lost, and that is why, because you've taken yourself out of all all that really, that all that is for you, all the abundance, all the blessings, all the answers, all the guidance. And so the only way for you to feel at peace is to let go so that you can be a part of the information, so that you won't feel like you're alone. And you have to trust that when you keep showing up and you keep being, that at that moment that you're trying to figure out what to do, you can't figure it out now because there are a series of events that will unfold as you ride in the stream, that will, some of the things that you're worried about may be taken care of before you get there. And some of the things you can only discover what you should do or will want to do when you arrive there. The choices, the opportunities for you to make that decision will be plain as day, because when you show up and everyone else shows up, then you know. And that's what you have to trust, is that when you don't have the certainty right now, the certainty will be available to you. Okay? I don't know why I'm seeing the word social. So, I feel like something, struggling with something in a social setting, or in your social circles. Maybe there's something going on in your social circles that is related to what we're talking about. Okay, so the card that we're pulling from the Archangel Oracle for the theme of the week is sensitivity. And this is the Archangel Haniel. And Archangel Haniel um, means, her name means the glory of God, okay? And she can help you with your intuition. She works with the cycles of the moon. So this is, I'm seeing the word focus. So what they're saying right now is, this is the time for you to focus. Now, I'm not quite sure what phase of the moon we are on right now. I think we just had a new moon, and so, but you wanna be sort of, the word focus, when I came up with the moon, don't get caught up in your fears. Don't get caught up in illusions. Things, when you don't have all of the pieces. But I feel like right now you don't have all of the pieces of the puzzle. So when you don't have all of the information that you need, anything that you are thinking or any decisions you're making are not really going to be clear. And so that it's not a good idea to make decisions at this stage, because you want to wait for clarity, okay? And so the card sensitivity is indicating that you are in a very vulnerable state right now. What's going on is that right now you're feeling a lot of different things. You this may be a time where you may, because you don't have all the clarity, you may take things personally. You may overreact, or your feelings, things may just sort of exaggerate a bit. And so they would like for you to really sort of tune in. So what happens is when we're afraid, we want to push away all the information. We don't want to look at it. We're afraid of it. This is like, you just want to escape, right? Because you just rather do anything than deal with this, or because you just don't know how to handle it, and you feel like you're supposed to know it all. Like you feel like you're supposed to have all the answers all the time, and that's not true, because the answers are always out there, floating around in somewhere, and sometimes it's not for you to know, but somebody else to know. Or, you know what I'm trying to say about that? It's like, it's a shared responsibility. And so when you feel like you don't know it all, that means that you need to rely on others who may know, okay? Or seek answers or research to gather more information. It's like, rather than go out and do something without having all of the facts, or to make assumptions, just would not be the healthy choice. And I get the sense that what you want to do right now is really tune in, and in this time where you feel like you don't know it all, it's probably because you are hanging up. You're hanging yourself outside that guidance. And what you need to do right now is let go and sort of focus on. And I don't want you to like make a big deal out of your fears, but you want to sort of give yourself some space to be aware of what is it that I'm just really afraid of. And what they're showing me is that you're really afraid of prosperity right now. You're afraid of things happening and launching, and you won't know how to handle it. Like, so it's like, wow, I'm going to have all the success, and then I'll really be busy doing what I love to do, but will I know? And will I know what to do? And those are the kind of things that creates fear, and that causes you to try to find a way to slow things down. And so just keep letting go. Know that you're not going to be doing everything on your own. That you're going to help is going to come. That others are going to be a part of your process that will show up, and in order to help you to sustain your dreams, just know that you're always going to be guided towards the help that you need. Is important for you to really work with and understand right now. Okay, so it says you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. And before I even looked at her, I know this card, and she's playing her harp, and it gives me a sense that right now that a good thing for you to do is to do something creative, or uh, listen to music, go to concerts, or go to galleries, or paint, or anything expressive that will help you channel your um, your emotions. So one of the things is that with moon cycles, our emotions are affected, and so to keep that balance, um, it's always good to channel your creativity in some way, even if you can't channel it right now because the thing that concerns you, like, is your job or something that you do or a hobby. Do something else just to get the creative juices flowing. This is how you learn to let go and get back into that place of trust in your creativity and your expansion, is to do something creative or fun and playful, something that allows you to laugh, and because laughter it allows all of those emotions for you to release them and to sort of get them flowing again, that vibration of laughter. So really sort of open yourself up in this way. Okay. Um, hmm. All right. Well, I don't. Well, I'm gonna just say it since I saw it, but I saw the word molestation, and so some of you may have dealt with this in the past, um, and maybe something is triggering this in the current situation right now. So this is, what you want to do is don't let the past sort of shape the way you see the circumstances of your situation currently. There could be a relationship, but not enough. That past is never um, a reason for us to sort of be immobilized. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's like there could be a relationship, but you don't want to let the past sort of inform or how you address things in the future. I mean, your present moment. It's sort of like you're. It maybe something reminds you of it, or the authority figure, or maybe it could be a situation wherein you're feeling like nobody is, honoring your feelings and listening to your voice. That if you say no to something, and it could just be a completely different situation that this is happening in, but the relationship is brought up and triggered, and so your the surge of emotions that kind of comes up for you, you feel like you're right back there, even though the scenario and the setting and the situation has no relationship to that except not being heard, you know? And so you want to address that separately from what's going on. So because it's this thing about the moon, right, and creating illusions, and um, and things not being clear as opposed to the sun, you know. So you just want to um, be extra sensitive or extra aware in that regard, not to just be aware. I'm just showing me the word exaggeration. So just be aware of exaggerations occurring right now because your emotions are just sort of sort of running kind of high or peaking at this time. Okay, and it may just be augmenting, this is the word I'm seeing, the situation beyond what it really is. Okay. Wow, so it kind of really went over, but that was important. All right, so let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week, and it's the Chariot card. All right, and so this is about this is sort of like what I was seeing with that vehicle, right? The caravan. So it's interesting that this comes up, and the card says an important achievement, self-discipline, and willpower, public recognition. Um, and so, and then that word focus comes up again, and you know, it also reminds me of that image we were talking about with your desire, like a comet. And so you know, there's a sense that you're moving towards something um, very quickly, and that you this is something that you have a general preparation for, but again, you may be all of a sudden sort of stepping outside of yourself and questioning what you're doing or looking to see how you're doing, and that's kind of throwing you off. You know, also, I saw the word glossary, and I think symbolically here it means you're trying to define what you're doing. You're trying to define yourself right now. You know, you're trying to define what it is that you're doing. You want to get to specifics, so you're feeling like people are calling you to be more specific about what it is that you're trying to do, and you don't have the labels right now for it, and maybe you're feeling a little bit bad about that. Don't feel bad about that you don't have the labels right now. You're in a stage of the right now exploration, so you're just sort of exploring things right now, and you as you're being, you're becoming. You're the role is the clarity of the role is surfacing within your actions. So just remember, you can't figure out who you are or be without, and at the same time be who you are. So there are two different energetic responses and consequences. So the one that you want is just to continue to be and do what you feel inspired to do. And trust that as you're doing, you discover. And you don't really have to answer to others, because that takes disrupts your focus. Okay, so you know this is going to take a lot of self-discipline and willpower to not get distracted by wanting to clarify for others. All right. All right, let's take a look. In the next card, we have the Empress. Okay, so this gives us a sense of you being in a very creative stage right now, and and really being able to sort of fashion things and shape things, and to um, sort of focus in such a way where you are able to take all of these different things that are coming to you and sort of fashion them into a sort of a specific direction or purpose. So and it's interesting because last week we had three major Arcana cards, and I don't know how this is going to finish, but it seems like we're headed in that direction. At least we have the scales are leaning towards it. So this is a great time of you tapping into your spiritual power. You know, you are sort of in a state of heightened awareness, So here, focus and creativity. And so what you want to do is just keep following that process, keep following the direction, keep, you know, giving birth, by what the empress, I feel like, is paying attention to the how you're inspired to create. What are you inspired to create for yourself in your life right now? Trusting that these things that you're doing are, supporting you and your loved ones. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. All right, so we have the Ace of Water, and this is about, um, strong emotions coming up. Um, could be about new relationships, but in the context of what's happening here, I feel like this is something that's causing you to sort of feel, a new emotional response, to life, to your something. It's bringing something fresh and new to your life, a passion, or, there could be relationships, some shifts in, um, the relationships that you're having, that is going to bring about this, feeling of support, new, and they're just writing the word express, like a lot of meaning, a lot of, expressed feelings are going to come through, at the end of the week. A lot of, feelings expressed in relationships and within yourself through your creativity and your focus and your life purpose. So there's just this, a lot of expressed things. So a lot of things are gonna. I feel like a lot of things are gonna come out. A lot of emotions and feelings are gonna come out, at the end of the week. Is the sense that I'm getting. I was seeing, another word they were writing out, but maybe it'll come back. Prosperity. That's the word I'm seeing. So, um, you're gonna feel, either you're going to experience this emotional prosperity as you are, focusing on your creative aspirations. Okay, and this is the success that you want to, focus upon right now. This emotional, um, like this freedom of expression that you feel, and all the ways that it just, charges you and your energy. All right, let's take a look at the card I've pulled from the bottom of the deck. Okay, and so this is the Four of Air. All right, and this card is sort of indicating that you take some time for yourself, right? So, you may have like all these agendas, with the chariot, and you're channeling all this creativity, and and it's bringing up all these feelings of all kinds, and you're expressing. But at the same time, one of the things that you want to do is be mindful of not exerting your mind too much. Don't overthink things, and to take a break when you need to. All right, because part of being in a creative process is paying attention to the mind, and when the mind is sort of had enough, because that's how the mind will sort of, start to exhibit imbalances, and where things can all of a sudden become blurry, and you don't, pick up on everything. So this is as it's really happening, occurring. And memories. One thing about memories is that they're not accurate. Especially old ones. The further away you get from them, everything is colored through how your belief system and everyone else's belief system. So no one is accurately remembering all the information. But one of the things that's important so that we can be alert and be, fully present and conscious is to make sure that we get rest. Okay, when your body needs rest, this is to support the mind, so that you don't, struggle, in your perception, about what's going on in your reality. Okay, so it's really important to make sure you get rest, to take breaks as all of this information and all this creativity is flowing, because this is what's creating this sort of sensitivity in this week, where you are your feelings could get a little out of balance if you're not getting the right kind of rest, and if you're not paying attention to your physical needs. So that all this is for, since the air is about mind, that this card talks about rest, and but it's about resting for the mind, so that the mind can properly be the channel, because you can see with all these cards here, you're channeling a lot of information, that and you're processing a lot, and your mind needs periodic breaks. So make sure you get proper rest. Don't be afraid to take a little break when you need. Drink water, etc. You got this cups card here, so it makes me think of that too. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you get a lot of rest, so that you don't, with the moon, that you don't get caught up in assumptions and lack, and not seeing things clearly. You want to be at your best. You need to have a clear mind and a clear heart. Okay. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and I thank you all for joining us here for this weekly angel reading. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, then make sure you do that, so that you'll be aware when some of the videos come out. Also, thank you all for those of you who share the videos, and those of you for your likes and your comments. I do read them and appreciate them. If you are haven't joined us on our Facebook page, because we kind of have like a part 2 to this weekly reading, where we have daily card messages for Monday through Friday, where we sort of look a little deeper into this reading. And you can find the link below my Facebook page, in the description box below here. So you can also connect through Twitter as well. I think it goes through Twitter. And also, if you would like an angel reading, you can contact me at theangelschool.com. On the services page, there is a reading for first time angel readings. And so there's a sort of a promotional offer there if you haven't had a reading with me. Also, there are different types of readings there that may suit you. So I look forward to hearing from you. My office hours are from 12 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So have a wonderful week, and take care of yourself, and be aware of your your sensitivity in this week, and don't be afraid of being emotionally aware, because I think of it as an awareness, but it can kind of drive us crazy, right? When it can be a little overwhelming. But just take care of yourself, okay? So have a beautiful week, and God bless you all.